Hi there, and welcome to the Sunday preview for this 24th Sunday in the year. And this week we have a great passage from the Gospel of Mark, chapter 8. So let's read it. It says, Jesus and his disciples set out for the village of Caesarea Philippi. And along the way, he asked his disciples, "Who do people say that I am?" They said in reply, "John the Baptist, others Elijah, still others one of the prophets." And he asked them, "But who do you say that I am?" And Peter said in reply, "You are the Christ." And he warned them not to tell anyone about him. Then he began to teach them that the Son of Man must suffer greatly and be rejected by the elders, the chief priests, and the scribes, and be killed, and to rise after 3 days. He spoke this openly. And Peter took him aside and began to rebuke him. At this, he turned around and, looking at his disciples, rebuked Peter and said, "Get behind me, Satan. You are thinking not as God does, but as human beings do." He summoned the crowd with his disciples, and he said, "Whoever wishes to come after me must deny himself, take up his cross, and follow me. For whoever wishes to save his life will lose it. But whoever loses his life for my sake and that of the gospel will save it." The gospel of the Lord. Well, again, the gospel setting of the place here is important. And Jesus takes the disciples, the apostles, up to Caesarea Philippi. And Caesarea Philippi was a place of pagan temples and pagan worship. It was a Roman town. By the name, you can tell that. It was named after both Caesar and Philip, the son of Herod. And there were all sorts of pagan rituals going on there. But it was a place of orgies and lust and celebrations and worldly power and money. It represented everything the opposite that Christ represented. It was like the epitome of what the world is looking for, right? Total immersion in the moment, in pleasure. And Christ, in that context, asks the disciples who they think he is. And Peter pipes up and he gets the right answer. "You are the Christ, the Savior, the one that saves us from all of this sinful way of life." But when Christ begins to speak of the cross, and Peter pulls away, he won't accept that. And that's why Jesus becomes so stern. And Jesus tells them all that unless they want to take up his cross and follow him, they won't have life. That to really know Christ is to understand what he's here for, to offer an alternative to just the materialistic, worldly pleasure that so many people are content with. To be a follower of Christ and to really know him is to embrace the cross too. And I think that's difficult for those apostles, but it's very difficult for us today too. It's so easy for us to buy into the mindset of the world and say, we just want comfort. We're not bad people. We acknowledge Jesus in our mind, that he's the Savior, but we don't want to suffer at all. Far away with that cross from us. And Jesus' answer is, if you want to get to know me, it has to be through the cross. Take it up every day. And it's a different way of looking at our own sufferings and our own setbacks and misfortunes. That if we can unite them with Christ, and if we can carry that cross along with Christ, that's when we get to know the real person of Jesus.